their complaints. No rules have been violated. Everything was done in compliance with Washington State Republican Party rules and the Skagit County rules, along with the Roberts rules. And at this time, I would move the question.
Second.
Previous question is moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's not. Sir, your motion is it on all pending questions or simply this question? Simply this amendment. 2/3 vote required, not debatable. Those in favor of ordering the previous question, please rise. Please be seated. All those opposed to calling for the previous question, please rise. The negative has it. The motion is not adopted. Is there anyone that wishes to speak in favor of the motion? Of the amendment? Is that, sir, microphone number 1?
I'm actually in favor of the motion.
Please.
Joe Marusak, Snohomish County, 1-1. The relative strength of this convention was intentionally legally skewed in favor of McCain delegates, and this is before the fact ballot fraud. There was a general call to delegates to the county convention after the precinct caucuses in violation of the rules. B, vacant slots for delegates and alternates for the county convention were in fact illegally filled with John McCain supporters up to and including 1 day before the convention. Numerous conversations were overheard and witnessed at the Skagit County Convention of people openly asserting that they were called a day or two before the convention, that if they showed up, they would be made delegates at the convention.
Is there anyone who wishes to speak against the amendment? Lady, microphone 2.
Jane Milhans, Pierce County. I call the question.
The previous question has been on closed debate on the amendment on all pending questions. On the amendment. And this is a vote to close debate on the amendment. It requires a 2/3 affirmative vote. Those in favor of ordering the previous question, please rise. Please be seated. All those opposed, please stand. Please be seated. The affirmative has it. 2/3 in the affirmative has been reached, and the previous question is ordered. The vote is on the amendment to strike this point of order at microphone 6.
This is a simple point of order.
Yes, sir.
If any county... Oh, sorry. Jeff Fisher, Clark County.
Yes, sir.
If any delegation is being challenged, will its delegates on the floor be allowed to vote during the proceedings?
Excellent point, sir, and I made a note to myself to point that out, and I did not, so thank you for the reminder. The Skagit County delegation is not eligible to vote on this question of whether, because they are involved, obviously. So, the point of order at microphone number 2.
Point of clarification.
Yep.
I want to make sure I understand what we're voting on here.
Yes.
Are we voting to remove the Skagit County delegation from the floor, or are we voting for the chance to hear the case which they claim was never heard by the Credentials Committee? Because I would think, before I vote to remove these people, I'd like to hear the case. Not simply vote because the case wasn't heard. I'd like to hear the case before I decide the rightness of seating them or not seating them.
This is a vote to strike the Skagit County delegation, and if it's successful, the Skagit County delegation will be escorted out.
Without hearing the case in details.
Well, we had a debate on that, and
right.
the previous question was called. So we now come to the vote on whether to strike the Skagit County delegation or not, and the Skagit County delegation may not vote on this particular matter. All those in favor of striking the Skagit County delegation, please rise. Please be seated. All those opposed to striking the Skagit County delegation, please stand. The amendment is not adopted.
I might have jumped the gun a little bit. You'll have to apologize. I too would like to hear the merits of this case, so I move that we open the Skagit County case.
We have reached the time Under the agenda, the 30 minutes for consideration of the Credentials Committee report has been reached, and now under Robert's rules, it's time to vote on that matter with no particular debate. There's a point of order at microphone number 3.
Motion, may I make a motion to extend the time for debate so we can't hear this? Sorry, Skagit, Franklin County.
You may, if you could state how long you'd like to extend for.
Let's give it 10 minutes. Let's hear both sides. I think the people deserve it.
There's a motion to extend the debate for 10 minutes on the credentials report. Is there a second? Second! This does require a 2/3 vote to extend debate. It's not debatable. All those in favor of extending debate on consideration of the credentials report, please stand.
Let's hear what they have to say.
Please be seated. All those in favor, all those opposed to extending debate, please rise for 10 minutes. Please be seated. The noes have it. There are less than 2/3. The motion fails. Second, the gentleman at microphone 3 for purpose to rise.
Hello. I'm good. John Vasco, King County.
Yes, sir.
I think it would be appropriate to refer this to the Credentials Committee to examine this and bring it back to us with a recommendation. They can do the case much better than the Assembly here. So I make that motion. That's a move to take it to the committee.
That motion is out of order because we had already reached the time under our agenda where we were under Robert's rules to vote immediately with no further debate and no further motions on the pending question. And there was an unsuccessful motion to extend debate. If that motion had been successful, your motion, sir, would have.
Point of order.
There's a point of order at microphone number 3.
I just had to run over here because my microphone was not being turned on.
Well, you need to be recognized first, and then we'll make sure that the microphone is on. Please say your point of order.
Christine Nieto, Whatcom County.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a little bit of chaos in the voting of this just a few minutes ago. A lot of people were standing at the mic to speak for or against. And like I said, the microphone was not turned on. So I would just like to state that a lot of people didn't know that a vote was taking place when it first began.
Well, the chair has a voice that carries pretty well. I don't think your point is well taken. I try to make it very clear when we're voting. I ask those in favor to stand, and then be seated, and those opposed to stand, and then be seated. The question before the body is the...
Point of order, microphone number 1.
Point of order, microphone number 1.
I believe that the 2/3 had it. I demand another count.
What's your name? You're not going to put it to us.
That point is not well taken. You could demand a roll call vote. That does require a majority vote to order that. Do you wish to move that? Is there a gentleman at microphone number 1? Is that?
John Herm, Congressional District 8,
Yes.
County. I request that there be a standing counting vote of the Assembly on the previous motion.
Is there a second? The motion is for a standing counted vote of the motion to extend debate that was previously ruled upon by the chairman. Requires a majority. It is not debatable.